In a world that never stops, this channel is your permission to pause. Welcome, I'm Anya, your yoga teacher and meditation guide. Today's class is a 1 hour Yin Yoga class that focuses on how to get comfortable. We may find ourselves fidgeting or wandering and distracted in Yin Yoga. It is a difficult practice where we are staying still. This class is teaching you how to find that comfort and where to notice it and how to support it. Everyone's comfort level is different, and I know that you'll find it in this class. Thank you so much. Let's get started. Today's class is all about getting comfortable. So we're going to start by getting comfortable with our props. Make sure you have 2 blocks, a yoga blanket, and a yoga bolster. We are going to start by taking our blocks out to the side, taking our blanket, and open your blanket all the way up. Opening it nice and big, folding it in half long ways, letting fringe touch fringe, and then bring it right on top of your yoga mat. It is important that we have as much support as possible between our bodies and the floors. We're spending so much time on the floor, so make sure that you have a nice little extra support for a little bit more padding to support the ankles, the knees, and other parts of the body, parts that will be nice and close to the floor. This practice is super relaxing, super grounding, but if we have distractions that are bothering us, it's going to take us out of the present moment. So now is a good time to start to turn off anything that could be a distraction, if that's possible in your space today, or invite it in as part of our practice. We are going to start with a comfortable seat. Grab a block and bring it underneath your hips. You can let your legs come out in front of you like this. Maybe you sit a little bit crisscross, letting the legs be right next to each other, or you can come to your knees and bring your hips down on the block, letting your feet be right underneath your seat. This is going to help relieve any tension that you may have in your lower back. So, in your comfortable seat, go ahead and start to find your natural breath. Find a little gazing point in front of you. Notice your natural breath in through the nose, out through the nose or the mouth. Observe yourself coming out of all of the distractions, the to-do list, the judgments of the day, and shifting inwards, bringing the attention to what is shifting within. And when you feel as if you've landed, close your eyes. Still finding that natural breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. You're not trying to control your breath in any way, just watching and observing. Notice where your attention is going. Is it going to your thoughts, to the body, to the breath, maybe all 3? Bring your attention now just to the breath. Notice the top of your inhale and the bottom of your exhale. Notice everything in between. Now take 5 breaths at your own pace, each time following the journey up to the top of your inhale and observing the journey down to your exhale. Today, I invite you to allow your own feeling of comfort to be your teacher. Listen to your body and create your own expression around each posture that we do. There's no rule for how to do a specific posture, just suggestions, which I will guide you and offer throughout class. Our body has so much wisdom. It's up to us to listen. Each pose that we move through today will be steady, comfortable. There's no need to distort your body in this class, and there's no need to try to achieve a pose that is not comfortable. Let's go ahead and bring our chin to chest, letting the head hang heavy. Feel the gentle stretch in the back of your neck. Slowly open up the eyes one eyelash at a time and begin to make your way to our next posture. Our next posture will be a supported pose using all of our props. So take your 2 blocks and bring them to the sides of your mat so that they're easily accessible. We'll start to come into a supported fish pose, so grab your bolster and bring it to the back of your mat. Bring your hips nice and close to the bolster, but keeping your hips down on the floor. And roll down 1 vertebrae at a time, coming all the way down to your bolster. Keep your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor, opening up the arms wide with your palms facing up. Notice how it feels in the body. If there's any discomfort here, consider just taking the bolster out and coming down onto your mat. Give yourself a moment to just check in with how it feels to come into the posture to start. Notice what feels comfortable, where you might feel uncomfortable. And if anything is uncomfortable, I suggest you change and shift around. The option is always to stay here, but if you'd like to experience a little bit more, especially targeting your hips and inner thighs, we'll come into a butterfly, leaving your blocks to the side on the lowest height. Bring them nice and close to the tops of your thighs for supported butterfly. And when we first come into a pose, there's time to scooch around and shift so that you can find that comfortable position. There's always space to move and adjust your shape so that you can get comfortable. In this supported fish with our butterfly legs in the lower half of the body, we are going to have an opportunity to target the shoulders, the back, hips and inner thighs. Close your eyes or cover your eyes with an eye pillow as we journey deeper into this pose. Find that steadiness in this posture. We can always stay in an uncomfortable posture, but then it won't be a posture according to yoga. So how do we define comfort? When you forget your body, you are comfortable. When you are reminded continuously of your body, you are not comfortable. When you are not comfortable in your body, how can you long for other blessings that belong to deeper layers? If you're fidgeting, you are not comfortable. And most importantly, what is comfortable for you may not be comfortable for someone else. Everybody is unique because every body is carrying a unique soul. Find your soul in this posture. The way we resist or surrender to sensations is a part of discovering and building the relationship with your unique soul. Find the top of your inhale and find the bottom of your exhale. Let your breath take you a little bit deeper as you take longer inhales, longer exhales. We've been in this pose for some time now. Consider how the sensations feel in your hips and your inner thighs in this butterfly shape. And maybe you play with taking the blocks a little bit further out towards the knees or taking them out completely. Let's take 3 more breaths here in this pose. Longest inhales yet. Longest exhales. Bring your hands to the outsides of your knees and your thighs to bring the knees back together. Walk your feet a little wider and drop your knees in towards each other. Pause here. Notice and observe the sensations change. And then roll over to one side just enough to release the bolster out from underneath you. Bring it over to the right side of your mat. You can take your blocks out to the side, but keeping them close by. We always want to keep our props nice and close by. Bringing that bolster to the right side of your mat so that it's close by for our next pose. Take a moment here to breathe and come back into the body. Align shoulders and hips. Then start to bring your knees in towards your chest and give your knees a nice little hug. Rock a little side to side, massaging the lower back. Let your arms open out to the side and drop your knees over to the right side onto your bolster. Your gaze can be over to the right, but for more of a twist, you start to bring your gaze up or even over to the left. Notice your comfort. Notice what feels like a distraction. Notice comfort or discomfort in your body. You may feel a pulling in the outside of your left thigh, a little bit too deep of a twist. And if there are sensations of pulling or discomfort, consider bringing your bolster in between your thighs, giving a little bit of space between the legs. And here we come back to the breath. First, notice your inhale. Notice the top of your inhale. Notice the bottom of your exhale. Find yourself in this posture. What does it mean to show up authentically as yourself? Can you do that here? Show up with what makes you so unique. What you carry with you everywhere you go. When you feel comfortable, this is how it feels. Like love, like acceptance, joy, curiosity. Stay here for 3 more breaths, closing out this posture. And now we'll take the bolster out to the side. Bring your knees back in towards your chest. Give your knees a little hug. And before we go over to the other side, we'll take a little moment to pause and rebound. The pose doesn't end when we come out of it. We still have a moment to process and download and let the body move away from those deep sensations, finding a little bit more steadiness as the sensations start to fade. Rebounds can be taken in stillness or movement. Just listen to your body. We'll just take a couple more breaths here for this rebound. Now grabbing your bolster, as we come to the other side, take your bolster to the left side of your mat. Check in with your hips and shoulders, bringing them in alignment with each other. And then take your knees in towards your chest. Open your arms out wide and drop your knees over to the left. You can rest your knees on the bolster, or you can take the option of the bolster in between your thighs. For a deeper twist in the spine, your gaze comes up and over to the right. Continue to observe the physical body.
Observe comfort in the body. You just came into the pose. Can you add anything else to make it more comfortable? Is it adding more props? Support underneath your right shoulder if you feel the right shoulder is coming off of the floor. Changing your shape. Deepening your breath. Observe the sensations in the body. And find yourself in the posture. Bring into this space, into your heart, all of those things that make you so uniquely you. And what it means to show up fully as yourself. Can you bring just a little bit of that more into this pose? Making space for your authentic truth. Rather than the judging mind. Space for love, acceptance, joy. Continue to find the top of your inhale and the bottom of your exhale. Observing how the breath moves through the body. Observe how the body responds to the breath. Sometimes it's a little bit uncomfortable to take those deep breaths, and your body will feel exactly where there is resistance, where there is discomfort. Let's take 3 more breaths in this pose. Begin to bring your gaze back to center, knees back to center, gently unraveling from the twist, not forcing it and moving so slow. And here we will take a rebound, a little bit of space to process and download anything that may have come up in the heart or in the body during that pose. You can take this in gentle movement or stillness. Close your eyes and notice. From here, roll over to one side and use your hands to help lift you up to a seat. Our next pose will be a child's pose. We start by bringing the palms underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips in a tabletop position. Reach for your blocks and bring the blocks on the lowest height, right where your palms were. Start to send your hips back towards your heels. Notice how this feels as you slowly make your way into this child's pose, as with the supported palms.
I really like to bring a bolster in between my thighs, right underneath my chest for additional support. You can let the bolster be a little further out so that you can rest your forehead or an ear, or you send it further back and let your forehead come down towards the floor. If your hips are high and there's a lot of space between your heels and your seat, take your bolster and bring it in between your hips and your heels, and then come down. When you come down in this child's pose, if the forehead is still not touching the floor, get comfortable and take a block, bring it underneath your forehead so that you have the support and there's no pain or discomfort in your neck and shoulders. So the next few moments, take your time to find the child's pose that fits how your body is showing up today. First thing we do when we come into the pose is get comfortable. Get comfortable in the physical body. Then start to find your breath. Find the top of your inhale and find the bottom of your exhale. If you have your hands on the blocks, on the palms on the blocks, check in with how that feels in the shoulders. We're targeting the shoulders here in this child's pose with this extra support, with this extra guidance, creating a little bit more compression in the back of the shoulders and a stretch in the front of the shoulders and the armpits. You can keep your hands on the blocks, or consider bringing the blocks a little bit closer and maybe bringing your elbows to the block. Palms come together and send your thumbs back as you bring your forehead to the floor. Find your breath and notice and breathe. You're allowed to keep moving your blocks and moving your shape so that you can get comfortable. This is what this class is about. If you're fidgeting, you are not comfortable, find the right space. Find the space where you can stay for 3 breaths, and then for 5, and then for 15. Let's take 3 more breaths in this child's pose to close out the pose. And then slowly start to come out of the pose as slowly as we came in. Use your hands to walk yourself up into a seat. And we will take a pause in rebound. Again, this could be in stillness or in movement. I'm going to take mine in a seat. You can always lay down, or maybe if you'd like a little movement, you take your hands back behind you and find windshield wipers side to side. Whatever you do, just move so slowly like a sloth, like you're moving through water. There's no rush. Our next pose is swan pose, also known as pigeon pose. Make your way to tabletop position. Keeping your props nice and close by, take your right leg back behind you. Sway a little forward and back as you press your heel forward and back. You start to find a nice stretch in the back of your right leg from heel all the way up the leg. Lift the right leg up and step your right foot to your left hand, dropping your right knee over to your right hand. Now coming into this pose will feel a lot more supportive if we can get comfortable. So first, find the most comfort for your physical body. I like to bring the bolster underneath my hips. You can also stack more support. You can level up the bolster, bringing in a little bit more blankets on top of it, maybe even stacking your blocks on top. Finding a nice tall spine here. Once you elevate your hips with your bolster, make your way to finding your breath. Notice how it feels in the hips. Our next pose is swan pose, also known as pigeon pose. Go ahead and come to that tabletop position again. Your right leg moves back and just find a little movement forward and back as you press your right heel forward and back, finding a nice openness in the back of your right leg, nice and long. And then lift your right leg up, step your right foot to your left hand. Drop your right knee down to your right hand and let your hips start to come down. I always like to bring a bolster underneath my hips here. If you're finding a lot of pulling, a lot of sensations that underneath your hips, add your support here. You can use your blocks underneath your hands as well for a little bit of additional support. And if you're still feeling like the hips are not into this is not comfortable, right? We're still finding our way into the pose. Maybe you put another pillow on top of your bolster or a folded blanket. So staying nice and tall, take a nice deep breath. As you exhale, come down onto your forearms, either bringing them to the blocks or to the floor, and maybe even bringing a block right underneath your forehead, giving yourself more support. This pose can be accessed different ways. So if you're still feeling really uncomfortable in this pose and you've leveled up props underneath your hips, then come down onto your back. Bring your right ankle to your left thigh and hug your knees in, reaching around for the back of your left thigh. You can still experience the same benefits here in this pose with less intensity. Listen to what your body has to say. Listen to how your body is showing up today and wants you to meet it. Whichever pose, whichever shape you have now started to shift into as you stay here a little longer, keep checking in with the physical comfort in the body. Keep noticing your breath. Notice where you are comfortable. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, breathe into a place that feels good here. Can you soften somewhere just a little bit more? Pigeon pose can feel really intense because we're working with the hips. There's a lot going on in the hips physically, but also emotionally. Big muscles, big release. Give your body time. Be patient. And then get comfortable. Observing if your mind is drifting. Can you bring it back into the breath, back into this present moment? How is comfort or discomfort showing up in your pose. Can you soften, melt a little bit more? Maybe you take your elbows a little wider out, or take your block underneath your head to a lower height. Always moving 1 inch or 1 millimeter at a time and coming away from it if it's too much. Listen and feel. We especially feel this in the right thigh, going up the back of your right thigh. There's so much compression in that right hip. Send your breath there for 3 more breaths. On your next inhale, find the top of your inhale. Exhale, side out through the mouth, let it all go. We begin to make our way up onto our palms. And then slowly, 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 you can make your way back to a child's pose for a rebound. There's always the option to take a little down dog here. Close your eyes in your rebound and breathe. Let's make our way to the other side. Begin to make your way to tabletop position again. I know I'm gonna want that bolster back underneath my hips, so I'm gonna leave my bolster right there. Take your left leg now back behind you and shift your weight forward and back. Use your heel to lengthen through the back of your left leg. Lift your left leg up, step your left foot to your right hand and drop your left knee over to the left hand. Making sure you have that support underneath the hips, especially your left hip. It will want to roll a little bit more over onto the left side, and that's okay. Find your comfort here. Different side, different story. Maybe comfort is laying down on your back with that figure 4 shape on the other side. Start to make your way down onto your forearms, relieving the wrists from having to support you now, and let your head hang heavy or onto a block. While we're still in the beginning of this pose, find your breath. Observe how it moves in the body. Observe how maybe this side feels differently than the other, but without judgment, without expectation, just noticing. Observe that it doesn't matter where we're at, how we feel, The body is always going to tell us the truth. The body knows. Observe where your sensations are, and can you take a nice deep breath there? Meet your sensations with the breath, and then decide if you'd like to go a little deeper in the depth of your stretch, or maybe you've been forcing, you've been uncomfortable, and you want to add more support. We find comfort in the body, and then we find comfort how we feel emotionally in this moment, comfort in the thoughts. What's really happening layers beneath the physical body. Meeting any judging thoughts, any expectations with love. We'll take 3 more breaths here. If there's any adjustments you'd like to make for these next 3 breaths so that you can experience a little bit more or less, now is the time to make those shifts, make those adjustments. Slowly make your way back up onto your palms and find your rebound, child's pose, or a little down dog moment. Slowly making your way out of your rebound pose. Go ahead and grab your blocks and keep them nice and close by. We'll be using one of them for this next pose. Shift forward and bring your feet all the way out in front of you. Make sure you have space behind you to roll back. Bring your palms together in front of you. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Feel your support. Feel the earth beneath you. Let's start to bend the knees and bring the feet to the floor. Reach for your block. Start to lift your hips up and drop your block right underneath your sacrum, that diamond-shaped bone at the base of your spine, supporting the back of your hips, keeping it on the lowest height to start. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Find your breath. Find your comfort. Find yourself in this pose. Because we're laying down on our backs, maybe you want to add a little eye pillow here to cover the eyes. Stay here, or maybe extend your feet out in front of you.
targeting the lower back even more. And if you start to extend your feet out and then realize, oh, that feels maybe too intense, and we went from a 5 out of 10 all the way to a 8 out of 10, then just bend the knees and find a nice little middle ground. You don't have to have the knees all the way bent or the legs all the way straight. You can be somewhere in the middle. One more invitation here is an option to find a little more depth and target the shoulders and the chest. Reach your arms overhead and let your arms open up wide. This will create a little bit more opening in the chest. Keep bringing your attention back into the body. Follow the sensations as you melt more and more into the pose. Three more breaths here. We come out of the pose by bending the knees. Roll so that your hips move forward and you roll towards your lower back, shifting some of the weight away from the hips, and then reaching the block out from underneath you. Slide down one vertebrae at a time, coming all the way back down until your hips touch the floor. Find a rebound here. You can stay here with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor, hands on your belly. Maybe you bring your knees in towards your chest. Your rebound, your way. It is now time to make our way to our final resting pose, Shavasana. For Shavasana, extend the legs out in front of you and let your arms come down at your sides. A nice option is to bring your bolster underneath your knees. Scoot your shoulders down your back, creating space for the neck and shoulders. Move your tongue around the inside of your mouth. Stick your tongue out, move the jaw around, and then let it relax, letting the lips part slightly as the natural breath moves in and out. Not much of the breath is needed here as we just observe Observe the receiving of the practice and the body. It is here where we find ourselves once more in the pose. What does it mean to show up fully as yourself? When you find yourself, do you find yourself wrapped in love, community, passion, honesty? Each one of us with a unique soul, a unique purpose. When we are uncomfortable, on and off the mat, it is often because we are moving, observing in a way that is judgmental or just not authentic to who we are. We have all had those moments of waking up and wondering, oh, I wish I didn't say that. That was not me. This practice removes those obstacles. This practice continues to bring us back to our true self and to our true nature so that we can act more honestly, more intentionally with the world around us. Getting comfortable is about listening to the body. What does your body have to share with you here? Is there something you have learned in the observation of this practice about what comfort means to you? You are so loved, so deserving of all the comforts around support and acceptance. Let the earth hold you here. Supporting the body. Letting the body melt more and more, letting go of anything else you're still holding on to. Start to deepen your breath, filling up the belly, the chest. Slowly coming back into the body as you wiggle your fingers and toes and eventually giving yourself a full body stretch as you reach your arms up and hug your knees in towards your chest. Rock side to side. Eventually making your way over to one side.
And using your hands to make yourself come all the way back up to a seat. Sitting up on a block or a bolster. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Sitting tall through the crown of your head and rooting down through the hips. We will close our practice in gratitude. Gratitude for the sacred breath for guiding us. Gratitude for the wisdom in the body. Gently bring chin to chest as you bow to the inner teacher within you. Your inner guide, your intuition, your deep inner wisdom, your inner light. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you. I'm Anya. Thank you so much for joining me in this class. I hope you feel good, warm, and ready to either go straight to bed or along with the rest of your day, wherever you're at. I wish you well. Thank you. Like and subscribe to my channel so that you can follow along with more videos. I can't wait to continue this journey with you. Thank you.